This newly updated Hunter Arc build lets you dominate PvE activities in Destiny 2 Season of the Haunted. You'll be running around generating every elemental well, which all play a different part in making you become a complete god. They can just melt everything in the game, regardless of the activity type, although I'd limit to using this build in activities up to master level while at the recommended power to make this build the most effective. Now this video is sponsored by USMMO. If you're looking for cheaper Destiny 2 silver, then you can find them down below along my discount code. And now guys, don't forget to leave a rating, comment, subscribe and share for more. And now let's punch some ads in the face. Roll the intro. Now, like every build video, I will first mention that if you guys enjoy these builds and you want to see more, then you can find that full playlist link down below, as I do create builds every season here on the channel. But with this one today, you'll be running around mostly punching ads in the face, causing some serious damage when buffed with a few different mods and perks. Now the way you'd actually use this build in any activity is first run in and kill an ad with your melee. This will spawn an arc elemental well, which will buff your next melee attack. Then dodge to get that melee back and get a kill with your weapon. This will spawn a void elemental well, which will give you damage resist. Then kill ads with solar exotics to spawn solar wells, which will give you increased regeneration. From here you'll just run around chaining between the three wells, making void wells, arc wells and solar wells, as well as buffing the damage of your melee, which you'll use on ads to give you health and invisibility every time. Honestly, this build is no joke when you play it right, but the two downsides to using this build is firstly that you need the melee buffed when playing endgame PvE, or you are going to struggle getting the first few kills and you might end up dying. And the second negative is you ideally want to use this build when you're only playing solo, because your teammates might also screw you over big time. But if you can get everything perfect when playing solo, then this build will be worth using. And guys, I can only imagine this build with the new Arc 3.0 next season. Now getting into the setup, and I'll try and make this fairly quick for you guys, but the very first thing you're going to want is a solar exotic weapon. I'd recommend the Skyburner's Oath because the scorching effects actually work on the Arc subclass as well, so you can burn enemies for the extra damage. And we will be using that solar exotic to generate solar elemental wells with the flame harvesting mod from the artifact. For the subclass, we're using the Hunter's Arcstrider, Way of the Warrior, which comes with Combination Blow, where you can get melee kills to trigger health regen and increase your melee damage. And then with Combat Flow, those melee kills will recharge your dodge, and then using the Gambler's Dodge, that will recharge your melee. So it's just an infinite loop between the two abilities. The exotic we're using is the Assassin's Cowl. This reads, powered melee final blows grant invisibility and restore a portion of health and shields. A really good exotic to use, but you can use other exotics as well, like the Elias Handshake, although this one is a safer option if you care about survivability over DPS. For the mods, the first thing we have is Melee Wellmaker. This will spawn the Arc Elemental Wells, and then using Well of Irons will increase the damage of that melee for every other melee kill when we spawn that well. The next mod we have is Reaping Wellmaker, because we'll be dodging anyway to get our melee back. So this will spawn a Void Well, and then picking up that Void Well after killing an enemy will give us damage resist with the Well of Tenacity mod. And assuming that you've killed them with solar weapons, you would have also generated a few solar wells with the Flame Harvesting mod, which you'll then use on Well of Life for increased regen. Now it seems like a lot is going on, but honestly it's really simple and easy to use. Just get a melee kill, dodge near an enemy, get a weapon kill and then repeat. It's really effective for small groups of tough ads, like a group of mini bosses for example, that don't have a lot of health but also don't have a small amount of health either. As for the other mods, there ain't really much that you need other than your champion mods in the arms if you need them, and your damage resist mods in the chest. And then I'd try and focus on getting resilience to 100 if you can, so that you have more survivability. Now overall this build isn't the best build in the game, but it's probably one of the best Arc builds for the Hunter right now, at least until Arc 3.0 comes out, and I strongly recommend you guys give this build a try and see if it works for you or not. Otherwise, perhaps check out some of my other builds in the playlist down below, as I do cover builds for every subclass and character in the game. But that does about conclude this updated Hunter Arc build in Destiny 2 Witch Queen Season 17. Don't forget to leave a rating because you're all awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next build video.